Well, it's been a wild week of Big Brother since the last time we did power rankings. We had horrible twists, blockbuster stay, all of that. You can see more on why production killed Big Brother 27 on my channel. And we had two people leave. Rachel was evicted in White Locust twist, which, again, go watch that video to figure out. And then tonight, Will was evicted 3-2 with Ashley staying over him after Keanu won the blockbuster. This means 7 people are left. Big HOH is coming up. You kind of have the Flower Girl trio of Ava, Kelly, and Lauren making a final 3. You have Ashley, Morgan, and Vince kind of remaining of the judges per se. And then you just have Keanu in the middle, hoping to comp out and win out that type of a way socially. Or not socially, just through comps. Who won Final 7 HOH? Well, it's Mr. 3-time HOH Vince. It seemed to be a Zing bot, which got a lot of big roasts coming. I can't wait to see that on Wednesday. But Vince won his 3rd HOH. And we kind of know his nominations already. Morgan's going to push however hard she can to get Lauren on the block. But Vince isn't going to put up Lauren. Lauren is his true final 2, as we saw, and it'll take a miracle for him to even consider putting her up. I don't see that happening. Next, what happens in terms of endgame type stuff? We heard Will talk about Ava being valued, who she wants to win, but he thinks Vinny might get to the end and do it to himself too. Vince winning a 3rd HOH is going to make somebody like Rachel really happy because it's showing that he's kind of in control of the game. It's easy to set up a jury threat narrative. And with the block likely being Kelly, Keanu, and Ava, he might get his way this week and have people protecting him. Going into next week's double, pretty hard. It's going to be an interesting endgame here, but let's just get into our rankings from 7 to 1. Number 7 is Kelly for me. She doesn't win HOH, she doesn't win POV. I think she's pretty much drawing dead all around. I think Lauren's going to, had a iffy HOH week, but I think at the end of the day, the House and the jury will vote her over Kelly. I think Keanu can go to the end with Kelly and win, and pretty much everybody else can easily beat Kelly in a final 2. Unless she goes on to an extreme comp run and she's against somebody like a Vince or a Morgan that people don't want to vote for because of their cheat man for relationship cringeness, Kelly has 0 shot of winning this game. That's why she's number 7. Number 6 for me is Keanu. Keanu's not in a great spot because he has to win out and hope that his social game allows him to win. He might be able to beat a Lauren. I don't think he beats a Vince. I don't think he beats a Ashley as much. Maybe he could beat an Ashley. I don't think he beats he might beat a Morgan. He definitely beats a Kelly, but he has to win it out. And even then, his social game isn't that great to allow him to win over a lot of the people in the house. He's still kind of aggressive socially, and in ways that are, sorry, it's late here, it's almost 1 o'clock, in ways that are off-putting to some of the women in the jury, or women in the game, and there's going to be a lot more women in the jury than men if Keanu's in the end. And it'll be a tough vote for him to win. He kind of has to comp his way out, and we'll see where Keanu goes. Number 5 for me is Ashley. I think Ashley proved this week how good of a social game player she was. Getting the vote to flip on Will when she should have been the easy takeout target, as Will is like hurt, he can't compete in comps well, is exactly, why Ashley should have a better chance at winning. But even Rachel has said in her exit press, Ashley needs to win comps and show she's being more involved in the game, because Rachel's a very comp person feeling things. Will is very much pro Ava, and I guess if Ava leaves, Ashley will be his pro case, but much of the house doesn't respect Ashley's game because she hasn't had to have power that type of way. I know she's playing the big lawyer reveal at the final 2 if she makes it. I don't know if that's going to work well on the jury as like a wow, we're going to change our mind on the end of the night. I think the house is going to be pretty against Ashley, and if she's up against like a Morgan or a Vince, I think it's going to be pretty hard to be like convince people that you were in more control of the game than them and you should win. That's just my personal feeling. Maybe we'll be a better jury and give her a vote. But she also hasn't showed any comp ability to win at all either, so I don't even know how she makes Final 2 at all, given the comp competitors left in the house. Now that Will is gone, even Ava's more of a competitor than Ashley, in my opinion. Number 4 is Morgan. The reason why Morgan's a lot lower is she's kind of iffy in an Ashley Final 2, and her other Final 2 choices might be like Keanu and Vince. And I think Vince winning his third HOH, with Morgan not having winning one, and hearing Rachel's exit press saying like Morgan is playing Vince's game, Vince seems to be in control, Vince is kind of getting his way. I just think the jury's going to be very pro Vince in a Vince Morgan Final 2, and I think she's going to lose that. I don't think she realizes she's going to lose that, but I'm pretty confident she's going to lose that. Second, Vince values Lauren above Morgan. We know that from DR. We know that just from basic actions Vince does. So her spot in the game is a little bit lower overall, but we'll have to see where Morgan goes overall. She's in a bad spot, I think, but Vince winning this HOH and Keanu kind of building a relationship with Ashley does hurt her a bit, because if you get Keanu, Will, and Rachel voting for Ashley, all you need is like one other person to be like, you know what, I kind of like Ashley's game, like an Ava over Morgan, and Ashley wins the game against Morgan. Number 3, we have Lauren. Vince winning HOH here is great for Lauren because she's going to be safe. She's going to be able to compete in the double and have POVs the rest of the way. And if Keanu manages to leave in one of these next couple HOHs, I think Lauren has a clean shot to just Mackenzie comp out the rest of the way. In a jury with Kelly and Ava there, that's 2 people going to be vouching for her heavily. Her social game is a little bit to be desired, but I mean, even if Vince gets out at some point, like, I think Vince will vote Lauren with those 2, and then all you need is like them to kind of convince Keanu to respect her more, and I think Keanu could over the likes of like a Morgan or an Ashley. I think Lauren can win in Final 2 against Kelly pretty easily. Will she beat Ava? Probably not as much, but she's not sitting in a bad spot. And there's always a chance that this is a very bitter Vince vote, and if she's done a Final 2 with Vince, that she can beat him that way too. Number 2 for me is Vince. Vince winning this HOH here is so key. 3 HOH wins off the top just makes you feel like you're a player making decisions. You're controlling the aspects of the game a whole lot more than anybody else. I think his big issue is his target too big, and are people like Ashley and others going to start turning on him because they realize we can't let somebody who's won 3 HOHs win this game. Now he has 2 really close allies with, Morgan and Lauren in the game at the moment, but Morgan's like chomping at the bit saying that Lauren has to go, and Vince isn't going to make that decision. So we'll see how that relationship fractures throughout this week as Vince's HOH and Lauren's likely not touching the block. I do think the reason why I have Vince at number 2 instead of number 1 is because I think he's just going to be too big of a target over the other person in terms of who's likely to get to the end in my position without being a target as much with other people around. And that leaves number 1 for me, Ava. Ava, for all understandable reasons, with all of her bad-mouthing Rachel in pretty unhealthy and unnice ways, isn't the favorite right now of the Big Brother community. But she's in a Final 3 with Kelly and Lauren that is okay to take to Final 3 because she wins against either of them. Maybe they would take each other, but I don't know fully about that. You have her kind of like, she has won comps in this game. She has been active at different points. I know people were like, oh, how can she be upset Will's gone over Ashley? But in a way, I think this solidifies her more with that trio. I think people like Lauren, Kelly, Keanu, now Vince, even like Morgan are bigger threats in this game that are going to be, if they're sitting next to Ava, they're not going to take out Ava. I think it'll be tough for the house to really want to go after Ava unless they figure out that she's this big final two threat. Maybe that'll happen, maybe that won't, but I don't know. I think Ava's sitting pretty right now. I know she's going to be nominated this week, but with Keanu and Kelly on the block and Ashley as the replacement, most likely, I just personally think Ava does not leave in any of those circumstances, and you end up in a scenario where she is just gonna make her way to Final 5, Final 4, and she can win a couple mental comps. And if Lauren and Kelly are still around, if Lauren's winning comps, Ava's not going to be as much in harm's way as much as, say, Ashley and Morgan will be if they're still in the game and Keanu and Kelly are gone. But tell me your thoughts on who you think is going to be winning Big Brother 27 in the comments down below. It's going to be an interesting week with Vince and everybody here, and see where nominations go. Can Keanu comp his way through? He is one man against the house. America loves Keanu. He's very clearly locked in for America's favorite player. But we will see what happens. Again, like and subscribe. I'll give updates on the POV, the nominations, everything all week like I've been doing. And then we have Survivor coming next week, so we might talk about Survivor a little bit in shorts as well. Steelers Sunday as well, this Sunday against the Seahawks. I'll be streaming live. And movie reviews coming up soon, as there's a lot of new movies coming out. And I have been watching. I'm at 120 for the year so far, on my goal of 200 new movies for 2025. Didn't forget, but nothing seemed that great to review and put on here and disrupt the Big Brother algorithm. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day or good night.